Hey RT family, Ryan Reynolds here with Keller Williams Consultants Realty, and today I'm doing our community spotlight with John Faber with Faber Roofing, and we're going to be talking about some roofing tips and maintenance and things like that. So the first thing I would ask you, John, is tell me a little bit of history about Faber Roofing and how long have you been in roofing?
I've been roofing 11 years. I actually started out as the accountant for a roofing firm and realized that accounting wasn't quite for me.
Yeah?
So I enjoyed being out in the field more, so I just learned roofing, and I feel like I learned from the best. I'm actually Faber Roofing now, but I worked with Roofing One for 9 of those years. I've been on my own for 2 years because roofing went totally commercial, and I didn't really want to go commercial, so I'm still with residential. And I just enjoy that.
So you don't hear that story a lot of times where the accountant becomes the roofer. You almost always hear the other way around, where the roofing guy or the technician becomes the white collar guy. So I just didn't like that. Huh? What about being on a roof compared to in front of a computer turned you on?
When you're in front of a computer all day, it drives you crazy. Plus, there's no sense of accomplishment. When you finish punching in numbers, they're just finished, and then you got no more numbers tomorrow. When I go out to a roof and there's a leak and I go inside and I see where it is, and then I go up on top of the roof, I figure out what it is, I fix it, I do it at a reasonable price, and then I feel a sense of accomplishment because the customer's happy, I'm happy, and everybody's happy.
That sounds right. Yeah. Okay, well great. Let's go ahead and talk about some maintenance things. So one of the things that I think a lot of people think that it's not actually true is that when you buy a 30-year roof, it's not actually 30 years before you have to do something. So what are some of the big things from a maintenance standpoint that people need to be thinking about?
Every roof is relying on caulk in certain areas, like your boots. There's nails that hold the boots down, the flashing for your heat stack. There's roof-to-wall flashing that gets nailed down. All that has to be caulked. Caulk wears out 6 to 10, 12 years, depending on the weather, depending on the
6 to 10 years.
Yeah, quality of the caulk you use. So yeah, you definitely need to have your roof maintained.
So when you say about getting your roof maintenance, if I get a brand new roof, how long should I wait before I have somebody come in and inspect it and just sort of tune it up, so to say?
Yeah, like I said, about 6 to 10 years. Just depending on your comfort level.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes caulk lasts 12, 15 years, but sometimes it only lasts 4, you know.
Okay.
Depending on the sun, the weather, and how was it applied, how thick it was applied, again, what type of caulk did they use.
Right, how quality material. So we forgot to talk about nail pops, and John wanted to add a couple things, so go ahead.
Sure, yeah, that is another concern is nail pops happen, just like you see them popping out your drywall. They pop out your roof, believe it or not. They go right through the shingle, and it's 100% gonna leak. So again, just a maintenance item that should be, you know, have your roof checked, you know, every 6 to 10 years or so.
So when I'm looking, let's just say I'm a person that doesn't know anything about roofs, but I'm looking at my roof, what would be something that should stand out to me to say, I probably need to get somebody out here to take a look?
I don't know if you can stand at the bottom and say, oh, this is going to stand out. And if you see that, clearly if you see missing shingles, you know, we have a windstorm, you find some shingles on the ground, that's something that you can see from the ground, but a lot of it you can't. So you just have to use your instincts, I guess, or just know that your roof does need maintenance, and roofing maintenance isn't that much. You know, we'll always do a free inspection, and then when we do the free inspection, you know, to see if you do have any weather-related damage after a storm or something, you know, we can point out certain things, and it's really inexpensive, especially if I'm already there. You know, I'll maintenance those things for relatively, you know, pretty cheap. So
okay, so say it's been 6 years, I call you out, you go up on the roof, find some. Actually, I was up on my dad's roof not too long ago. I was doing something else for him. I noticed there's the sleeve that goes over top of the plumbing stack, and the rubber that goes around the metal part around the actual plumbing stack was gone. So there was actually no leaks in the house that we could really see. So how would I know, other than just having it inspected periodically, or is there a way to know? You really just have to have it inspected?
Just have it inspected, because the way you will know there's a problem is if you see a brown spot on your ceiling.
Right, brown spots are going to cost you a lot more.
Yes.
Probably than fixing the roof.
We have ways to fix that too. Just real quick, if you take a 50-50 bleach water solution and spray it on, or sponge it on, or brush it on, or something, it might take 4, 5, 6 coats, but
trying to get that out without painting it?
It will get rid of it without painting it, because you try to paint it, First of all, you have to use a product called Kills.
Yep.
It's a stain blocker. If you use regular paint, it'll just bleed right through, because what that actually is like a mildew, like in your shower. So you ever had mildew in your shower and you spray it with Tilex and you come back 15 minutes later, it's gone.
Right, it's like magic.
Yeah, same thing with your ceiling, except that's leaked from the top down, so it's totally absorbed through the material. So you got to soak it in enough to get rid of that so that you can't see it. So, but
that makes sense.
It will always get rid of it. So,
well, let's switch gears. Let's say I do find some shingles in my yard. Should I just call my insurance company right away, or should I call you first, or how does that typically work?
Would always call a roofer first to come out and check it out. So you're just better off. Insurance companies, once they know you have a roofer, they're not going to try to, I don't want to say it bad words, but screw you over.
Right.
You know, so they're trying to save money. You know, they act like they're on your team, but they want to save money too. So you get a roofer involved, he meets them out here, and it holds them accountable. You know, so it's happened many times where a homeowner did that on their own first and then got me involved, and they already denied the claim, and then I come out and look at it, and then I try to hold them accountable, because there's certain things that I know how to work with insurance companies. Like if they say, oh, repair, and then I try to do the repair, there's a color match law in Ohio. A lot of people don't know.
Color match, okay. Has to match the exact color, is that what it is?
Yes, so it's got to be a reasonable match.
Reasonable match.
Every insurance company is a little bit different, but if you already have a repair, then they don't have to have a reasonable match, because you've already accepted a non-reasonable match if you did a repair first. So that's important too. People don't know that. And then if they also do repair and they don't want to replace your roof, there's certain shingles that aren't repairable. So we get them on repairability, and then they...
So as the shingle ages, maybe it becomes unrepairable at some point?
Because for every shingle you replace, you have to take nails out of 2 shingles. Right. So I have to take the nails out of the top 2, and then when I go to put them in and I try to pull the shingle up to get the nails in, and it breaks because they get brittle as they get old. And then I have to do the one above that, and the one above that, and the one above that.
Where you stop.
And yes.
I guess to stop the ridge lines where you stop.
Yes, exactly. So, and then the insurance company realized, hey, this is unrepairable. But
sometimes you have to go through that iteration of those steps.
You definitely do. You have to do the steps.
It's not a one step.
It's a process.
So when somebody has an insurance claim, they should probably have their own roofer that's on their side, because the guys that come from the insurance company probably are hired by the insurance company, I'm guessing.
I mean, we're happy to do the small repairs or the full roofs. You know, you take what you get, and but if we can get you a full roof, we want to get you a full roof, you know.
So let's say like an insurance company is not involved. How would I know when it's time to replace my roof? Is there like something you look for, or is it really just each one is different?
Roofs wear out for a couple reasons. One, because you lose so many granules. The granules protect the tar from the sun. Okay. So it's like a brand new driveway, or the street gets paved, and you know how smooth and nice it is, and then 6 years later it's all cracked.
Sure.
Well, your roof would be like that too without the granules. The granules reflect the sun to keep it from being damaged. So your roof is going to lose granules every day for 30 years, but some of them lose more than others due to the way they face, the direction of the wind and the sun.
It's whatever weathering happens.
Yes, so it's the weather that does it, so they'll age a lot quicker or more quickly. The other reason a roof would wear out is because the ends get curled up.
I've seen that on a few roofs. What causes that? Just being too hot, or?
Yeah, just the weather and the heat, and the sun just gets the tar, and they get brittle and they start to curl up. Because the nail line is right underneath there. So once they start curling, water can get under there a little bit, get into the nail line, and then it causes a leak. The other thing is over time, there's a little tar seal that seals one shingle to the next shingle, and those start to fail. So once those start to fail, which then it's susceptible to wind, it's susceptible to wind-driven rain that can get up under there and cause leaks, but it also susceptible to the wind that it can damage the shingle and blow it off. And that's when the insurance company kicks in and pays for your new roof. So it's a good and a bad thing with that.
Yeah. Okay. So as a regular homeowner, the things I should be looking for, it sounds like, if I see any brown spots in the ceiling, that's a good sign to get somebody out. If I see some shingles in the yard, that's a good sign to see somebody out. But also, maintenance-wise, I probably need to have somebody out, I'm going to say every 5 years, just because if it's 6 to 10, it may fail at 6. I don't want to have people coming out at 7. So you just have somebody go up on the roof, take a look, fix anything while it's a small problem.
Correct. And
then not have to deal with it, or maybe make the roof last a lot longer.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely correct.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate you sticking around and talking to me about that. We're going to go up on the roof here and check this out. Make sure there's some shots during the video here. But that's all for now, RRT family. We'll see you next month on our Community Spotlight. And as always, it's the Ryan Reynolds team. Unlimited opportunities and exceptional experiences.